Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I'm Toddy One Skip. You're not, but I am. Welcome, guys. Guys, we are now part of Facebook. Please check us out on Facebook. It's really our community, so we're all talking on Facebook. Not just me. You're able to post stuff and get to know people in the community. That's what I really wanted it for, was for you guys to continue on with chats when we have them. When I'm doing lives, I feel bad sometimes I got to shut down the live because I got to go. It's a place for you guys to communicate and a place for us to communicate outside of YouTube. So just so you know, it's Toddy One Skip. The link is in the description or bio. Guys, how you doing? How you doing? Also, I want to let you know that I am working on some TikTok stuff and I'm working on some merchandise. I'm trying. I got some bracelets out yesterday in the mail, and I got more people ordering bracelets, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to order about 100 more bracelets, guys. Okay? So, I watched the Becca Scoops, the latest Becca Scoops on Gypsy Rose. Guys, I really like Becca Scoops. I really, really like her, and I think she has got so many facts, and she comes across without any bias or anything. It's just pure facts, and I could really wrap my head around that. However, there are some theories that she comes across, and theories are opinions, right? I mean, you could look at evidence and say, well, this is the way I believe it happened, but without facts, it's an opinion, right? Theory is more or less an opinion, and there is a difference in theories, I think, between Becca Scoops and myself, and that's okay. That's okay. I have questions. The Becca Scoops made me ask more questions, to be honest with you. Not to ask Becca questions because she's solid, but to ask Gypsy questions like, how was Gypsy going to deal with Dee Dee if she was pregnant by Nick? I mean, if Dee Dee was such an abuser, the way that Gypsy said she was an abuser, then why in the world would she get pregnant by somebody and come home and tell her mom? You know, if you're so afraid of your mom that the only way to get away from her is to unalive her, how do you think it would be by telling her, well, you know, I did wrong. I made it in the theater bathroom with a guy I really just met, though I've been talking to him online. So that's something that kind of makes me question, and I've always questioned. I've never believed that Dee Dee, A-B-U-S-E-D, Gypsy. But Gypsy's action alone, I mean, if you're afraid of your parents, the last thing you want to do is do that, right? I mean, you would do anything but that. You certainly wouldn't try to get pregnant, because that makes no sense if you're petrified of your mom hurting you or abusing you, right? Come on.
Most people know Nicholas Godejohn was Gypsy's co-defendant. While Gypsy was convicted of second-degree murder of her mother, Claudinia Blanchard, Godejohn got a raw deal and was convicted of first-degree murder. Nick is currently spending the rest of his life in prison, while Gypsy is out living her best life. According to official reports, text messages between Gypsy and Nick leading up to the heinous crime reveal some disturbing elements about Gypsy's thought process regarding pregnancy. Gypsy testified that she got Godejohn to agree to a series of plans called Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. The couple originally had a Plan A aimed at Gypsy escaping from her mother and getting together with him, while Plan B was the pregnancy option. Godejohn said that he and Gypsy discussed running away together, and he added, quote, "We were trying, maybe, to get her pregnant, so this way her mom would be forced to let me in her life," end quote. And up until now, most who have covered this case believed that Gypsy wanted to become pregnant so her mother would have to accept Godejohn. But is that the truth? Maybe not. Nick related how Gypsy almost manhandled him into the men's bathroom for a purpose of a sexual encounter when they met at a movie theater.
She's had sex with me. I asked one when we took her virginity.
Oh, so you guys had sex a different time than this?
Yes.
Oh, when did that happen?
It was in a what the heck was it? It was a theater.
In a theater?
Yeah.
In Springfield or somewhere different?
Springfield.
Wow, did her mom know?
We kept it from her mom.
Okay.
So I think that Becca Scoops, her theory is that, Gypsy is a narcissist and vain, and that the reason why she wanted to get pregnant was to get rid of the feeding tube. And I think that it's more to it than that. I really think that it has to do with maybe setting Dan up, maybe so that she could say that this was Dan's baby, and maybe Dan was supposed to come over that night and protect her. And again, I don't think Nick was supposed to leave the house that night. I think Nick was supposed to leave in a bag. I think it was supposed to be something where Nick was going to be unalived as well, and it was going to look like a burglary or a home invasion. That's what I think. I just can't wrap my head around the theory of Gypsy going and telling her mom something when supposedly she was petrified of her mom. Becca says that Gypsy is using her pregnancy more or less as a tool. It is something that she doesn't look at as a baby. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. But then there's questions that I ask about that as well. So guys, you guys already know that I feel that Nick wasn't even supposed to leave the house that night. It was, to me, what was supposed to happen that night on Volunteer Way or Volunteer Drive, wherever Gypsy and her mom lived, in that pink house. I think it was supposed to look like a burglary gone bad or a home invasion gone bad. And I think Nick was supposed to have, I think Nick was supposed to stay in that house and never leave that house except in a bag. That's what I think, honestly. And I think that the person that she was involved with at the time, the person that Nick refers to as somebody she's still infatuated with, somebody she still talks to.
The other, apparently she almost got close to killing her mother, but however, she couldn't do it. She was attempting to do it mainly for someone that she had an infatuation with, and, well, she found out later that it was just infatuation, but yet the person keeps using her to this day, so.
Maybe Gypsy was going to get pregnant and go to that guy who we think is Dan, right? And say, you impregnated me. Maybe she was going to, maybe that's what was going on. Maybe that's why she wanted to get pregnant, was to go to Dan and say, you did this. I'm pregnant because of you. And nobody knows anything about Nick. Maybe that was supposed to happen. Who knows? Because, see, Gypsy doesn't tell the truth, so we don't really know what the hell it was said or what anything was used for. It's all theory because we really don't know. For all we know, she could have been using Nick to get herself pregnant, to go to Dan and say, looky, who knows? We don't know. But to me, it doesn't make any sense to go to your mom, somebody that you fear, you say you fear, and you have to unalive, you just can't leave, and tell her that you did something wrong and had sex with somebody in a bathroom. That doesn't make any sense to me. As we ask more questions. Ask more questions and she'll tell us more lies. Now, guys, there's a part here where, Rod makes a comment when Gypsy says, Ryan dared think that I was here visiting Ken as opposed to you, Daddy. And Rod makes a response saying, yeah, like we'd allow that. Rod? Do you know what your wife did? Because your wife reached out to Ken and helped break up Gypsy's marriage. So you might not have allowed it, but your wife certainly allows that behavior. As a matter of fact, she encourages that behavior. Just to be clear, just to be honest.
That integrity is what matters.
This isn't the only time we caught Gypsy making her father, Rod, look like a fool. When she left Ryan in late February to spend the weekend with Rod, Gypsy pretends to be incensed over Ryan suggesting Ken was there with her, when the truth was she was already unofficially back together with Ken by then, except poor Rod has no idea.
The way he was hinting as if Ken was here.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Like we would allow that to happen.
Exactly.
Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. We're going to go into the Becca scoops and dive deeper into it. I get so much from her videos, and they do make me think, and that's why these videos come from them. So, guys, always thanks to Becca Scoops. Shout out, Becca Scoops! And this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Guys, please like, subscribe, share. Check us out on Facebook, TikTok. We are here. We're here. And I did get a post office box, guys. It's in the bio and the description. All right, guys. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always, always, always be kind. Thanks, guys.